Most of us know how much money we have and how much will be in our paychecks on any given Friday, but what if you had some unclaimed cash just sitting there waiting for you? It is possible, for real. North Carolina State Treasurer Dale Folwell is joining us to answer your questions on everything from unclaimed cash to your pension to the state health care. You name it, he's going to talk about it. What you can do is text us your questions. The number is 336-379-5775. Remember, this is a text only, so please don't call. All right, so first and foremost, if folks are not familiar with what the state treasurer does, kind of in a nutshell, what do you do that they can ask you some questions about?
Well, when people think about treasurer, where they most often see that word is on the $1 bill. We don't sign the $1 bill, but we manage the 25th largest pool of $1 bills in the entire world, nearly 220 billion of those. And it's mainly half of that's made up of the pension plans of those that teach, protect, and otherwise serve. And of course, we're the state banker and many other duties and responsibilities. So that's what the Treasurer's Office in North Carolina does. And one of those divisions, I hate to call it small with only $1 billion, is the NC Cash division that you just mentioned a moment ago.
I see that, nccash.com. All right, so let's talk about NC Cash. Folks are like, okay, why is there unclaimed cash and property just laying around?
Great question. The simplest way to describe this to your viewers is to tell them it's when a check never got to them or they never cashed it. The financial institutions and others, like insurance companies, when they attempt to pay somebody something and it never gets to them or never gets cashed, it gets what we call escheated back to the State Treasurer's Office of North Carolina. And by the way, every state has one of these. Now, that word I just used, escheat, I used to stutter, so I'm advised not to use that word. It could come out incorrectly.
All right.
But nccash.com today has over $920 million in it. And it's all the things from a gentleman who gave his goddaughter 40 years ago $100 worth of Paramount stock and wrote on the stock certificate, because I think you'll be a star one day. They lost track of that. That $100 worth of stock, Paramount was bought out by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has split 8 for 1. That $100 turned into $29,000.
Oh my!
Just that individual. So there's no charge to look up your name, and more importantly, there's no charge to get what's rightfully yours.
That's right. So the unclaimed cash is absolutely free. What we want to do now is bring up the website for unclaimed cash so that you can see what it looks like. I got to tell you, if you Google unclaimed cash in North Carolina or just unclaimed cash, all kinds of ads are going to pop up. But this is the website that you want to make sure you're on, because this is absolutely free. This is the State Treasurer's Office, and this is his website. Now, when people go on there, they're going to have to give up some personal information so that they can check to see if they have cash. And what kind of information will they be giving up?
Obviously, their name and their address. And, oftentimes if a check did not get to you, it's because you have moved. Like a last paycheck, you moved before it even got there. And you have to give up your Social Security number. We are have a very tight security policy. And I'm often asked, why should a person have to give us their Social Security number? And the reason is, generally speaking, when somebody sends us money that they were unable to get to your viewers, it's associated with a Social Security number. That's how we keep track of what belongs to whom.
That's right. And there's so many names that are so common that, you could be giving it to the wrong Joe Smith, if that's what happens there. Okay, so we want to make sure everybody knows that's absolutely free. It's in the Two Wants to Know section right at this very moment. The link is, we do not want you Googling it. It gets people in a mess all the time. All right, there's also something called the NC Cash Match, and that is something that also deals with unclaimed cash and property. And this is something that just started last year.
We are super excited about this, and we were really debating about what to call it. We were going to call it NC Match, but we were advised by some people in our office that everybody would think that's a dating site. And we are not a dating site. We are the Treasurer's Office. NC Cash Match is where we have information from all sources that would say that Dale Folwell has lived at this address for 27 years in Winston-Salem. And there's a property there that belongs to Dale Folwell at that address. We are randomly, and we can only do about 2,000 of these a week, we are randomly sending out a letter. If those letters aren't returned to us over an 8-week period of time, we automatically cut the check to these individuals. And this was a pilot program. We paid out over $2 million over a very short period of time. Through legislation, we just got the limit raised for NC Cash Match. And the average check that's going out without anybody having to do anything, if they're in this system, the average check has gone from $75 per check to $750. So we have broken all records this year in a pandemic year as far as the number of people we've paid out, 100,000 people, nearly $65 million. We expect to break both of those records and possibly pay out $100 million out of NC Cash next fiscal year.
Wow. Okay. We have some NC Cash questions coming up, but that's going to be in the next segment. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in just a minute.